Trump says the U.S. government may reimburse oil companies for rebuilding Venezuela's infrastructure. This is happening. Spoiler alert, you're paying for the invasion, you're paying for the takeover, you're paying for the fixing the infrastructure of their oil in Venezuela at the behest of oil companies. Oil companies aren't going to pay for that. They're the bank robbers. They're why we're there in the first place. That's like asking a bank robber for a tip. Should be a cold slap in the face to any of the MAGA people who still are clinging to the idea that somehow what we're doing in Venezuela is America first.
right, let's go live on Jimmy D.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's show. I'm wearing olive. This is olive. Completely legitimate color for a gentleman to wear. Olive. People wear olive suits. That's very common. Used to be blue suit, gray suit, black suit, olive suit. Those are the suits that men would wear. Yeah. White men, but black guys get to wear whatever the fuck they want. I'm so jealous. I'd like to wear a purple suit.
Nothing's stopping you.
Nothing stopping me?
2026.
Okay. Orange? Can I wear orange?
No.
How about a striped orange with purple?
I'd have to see it.
I think I could do that. Orange, Frank Sinatra's favorite color. I love orange. Stuff is gotten rid of my orange around the house.
Why?
She's got those curtains. You got rid of those. Replace them with white curtains.
Oh, those are not just orange.
But
and other colors, and they flash. I couldn't have all this art, and then the
white curtains.
I don't want to talk about this on the air. Hey, Jimmy, really quickly. How many days?
Oh, I got to
correct yourself.
So when I had Thomas,
a lot of people don't correct themselves.
I had Thomas Massey on the show, and he asked how many days are there in January, and I know there's 31 in December because New Year's Eve is a big comedy night, and there's 30. It's always 31 days. On the 31st of December is New Year's Eve. And New Year's Day. So I thought, well, because it's every other month it goes from 30 to 31. And so I'm like, well, if December has 31, January must have 30. So I said it's 30. But it turns out that's wrong. January does have 31 days, as does December. So there's 2 months in a row that have 31 days. But I guess they're not in a row because the end of it's the new calendar. So sorry I let you down. I gave you some bad information. I told everybody January had 30 days and not 31. I got to call Thomas Massey now and apologize.
But you know, Jimmy, a lot of shows don't make corrections.
A lot of shows don't make corrections.
And it's nice that you came back and you had your correction. I like that.
Oh, there's another correction coming up. Jeremy from the Quartering says I repeated a falsehood about him and Polymarket, so I'm going to bring him on. I forgot all about that until just a second. And so he could set the record straight. So apparently I said something that wasn't, I was repeating a tweet and it wasn't correct about him. So I'll bring him on so he could address the audience directly. But anyway, I'm here with the world's premier voice impressionist, Mike McRae. Hey, Mike.
Hey, James. How are you?
I'm okay. I did not get my nap today.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, this is going to be rocky.
I know. But I got to tell you, this is the best acting I've ever done has been these sketches because I don't read them beforehand. And it's like a Meisner as a acting class. Because I'm really listening and reacting. And
you're a cold reader like me.
Yeah.
It's a skill.
So, all right, well, let's jump into this. Ready? Hey, this is Jimmy. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, Jimmy? It's your favorite caller.
Oh, really? Is this Kash Patel?
What? Excuse me, what? This is J.D. Vance, dude.
Oh, hello, Vice President Vance. Well, you're also up there, sir.
You gotta be kidding me, man. This week can't get any worse. I thought I was your favorite.
What do you mean your wife is expecting?
I know. Fucking kill me, dude. Just shoot me in the fucking head.
What do you mean? Aren't you supposed to be happy about that?
Are you kidding? I can't go through this again, man. This is our fourth kid. That's a nightmare, dude. Having a baby is like a horror movie.
That's bad. That's bad.
Constantly changing diapers, getting up in the middle of the night to feed it, cleaning up all the spit and throw up. I have to listen to Usha complain about doing all those things all over again. I feel like I'm going back to Nam.
Doesn't sound super fun for her either.
Well, she's the one having the baby, not me. I mean, fair is fair here. Not coming out of my body. This is what you wanted, Usha.
So you don't help with the baby at all?
First of all, I'm the Vice President of the United States. Lots of husbands are busy and aren't around to help out as much as they'd like. But that goes doubly for me. I am basically always on the clock. I may be needed to talk shit in an irresponsible way at any time. And second of all, no, I will not help with the baby.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
Well, we're sort of like trad, you know? I mean, I'm an adult convert to Catholicism. That should tell you all sorts of things. If nothing else, it really tells you I'm not a man who changes diapers. That's woman stuff. And Jimmy, I got to tell you, it makes a guy feel really manly to make his wife do everything around the house. Real madman shit, but like, you know, Catholic.
I see. Is it considered trad for a Christian like yourself to be married to a Hindu?
As long as she's a trad Hindu, and Usha is, brother. And if you think Catholicism ranks women below men? Holy shit, wait till you see Hinduism. They used to burn widows alive on their husbands' funeral pyres.
Yeah.
No need for you anymore. Ciao, baby.
Wow, I know.
So, yeah, she has her own cultural forces keeping her in submission. When she gets all whiny and shit about going 2 days without sleep, I'm like, pretty sure your six-armed elephant-headed God says shut your trap and do your job.
That's pretty harsh.
Being trad is harsh. It's not about being all loosey-goosey. It's about enforcing traditional gender roles so the family functions like it's supposed to.
Really? What would happen if you changed the diaper to help out?
The consequences could be astronomical. Look, Jimmy, I already have 3 little kids who look to mommy and daddy as role models. They see daddy doing something that usually a mommy does or is supposed to do, then they're naturally going to get confused. And that leads to trans kids and gay and drug use and teen suicide. Only a rigid family structure that adheres to some 1950s ideal produces emotionally healthy children. We know this.
This all sounds like a philosophy designed to shield men from any responsibility.
Far from it, Jimmy. In our world, the men go to work. That's their job. That's where their labor is, not the home. And Jimmy, I'm the vice president of the United States. I'm one of the hardest working men on the planet.
Is that why you're talking to me on the phone right now, complaining about your personal life?
It's after 6, Jimmy. Miller time, hello? Now the big responsibility I have is deciding the name of the child.
Usha doesn't have a say in that.
Her entreaties will be heard for sure. So our 3 pre-existing children have the names Ewan, Vivek, and Mirabelle.
No.
So if you notice, that goes very white, very brown, and very white. So naturally, following this pattern, this boy will have to have a very brown name.
Seems fair.
I do throw Usha an occasional bone, but she has to catch it in her mouth or she gets the stick.
Good Lord. Come on.
Just a little joke. Anyway, I was thinking about naming him Indra, the ancient Hindu god of war, who was like a pretty cool dude. But if you say Indra Vance too fast, it sounds like you're saying in advance. And I don't want a child whose name is a phrase.
Yeah, I'm right. I got it.
I just don't think I could love him.
Don't you think Usha might be helpful in arriving at a nice traditional Hindu name?
Yeah, well, she would certainly like to think so, that's for sure. But honestly, her naming game is pretty weak. I let her name Vivek, and that was a bust because now everyone thinks of Vivek Ramaswamy, who sucks. So we'll see. I may open the suggestion box. Who knows?
Well, sounds like you two have a very healthy relationship.
Oh, we absolutely do, Jimmy, no doubt. Everyone is happier when their roles are clearly defined.
So your wife is happy?
Well, sort of. You've heard of postpartum depression, right? Well, she seems to have prepartum depression, which the doctor says is very rare or not a thing at all. Also, she's very gaunt and pallid, which is a strange look on a pregnant woman. But no 2 people are the same, I guess. Maybe I should have let her celebrate Christmas this year with me and the kids. Oh well, I'll talk to my priest. I'm sure he'll know what's going on with her. Everything will work out fine. It always does, for me at least. Okay, Jimmy, this has been fun. Goodbye.
For me at least. Yeah, everything works out for me at least. Yeah.
Healthy marriage, I think.
Sounds like it. Why would yeah. I thought it's a bigger deal for Usha to marry outside of her religion, don't you think?
Oh, for sure.
Like, how did she?
We don't care about that.
Didn't she take grief from her family?
Oh, I guess. I don't know. I told her I didn't want to hear about it.
Okay. All right, ready? Here we go. Hey, this is Jimmy. Who's this?
Hey, Jimmy. Scott Jennings here, commentator over at CNN. Former aide to President George W. Bush. How's it going?
Oh, Mr. Jennings, I'm familiar with your work over at CNN. And I got to say, I don't think Donald Trump is a more reliable mouthpiece anywhere in the mainstream media.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to make a living. You do your thing, and I do mine.
I suppose. But I'm not a mouthpiece for one particular party or political figure.
Well, neither am I wouldn't say. But if you mean the president, look, Donald Trump won the election. He's been in office for a year, and he came into office with a mandate to achieve a series of goals, and that's what he's been doing one by one. He's simply doing the things he was elected to do.
The voters wanted him to destabilize the world order and the markets by threatening to seize Greenland by force? Really?
The voters wanted him to project American strength onto the world stage. And that's exactly what he's doing. And he's doing that in Davos as we speak.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
My apologies. I have a vocal tick that they can edit out on CNN, but on live streams, it's just going to be in there. Nothing to do about it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No worries. As I was saying, Donald Trump has the support that he does because he doesn't capitulate to world leaders like Biden and Obama did. It's a refreshing change, to be honest with you, and an overdue one.
I guess by that logic, his supporters have no problem with our government kidnapping another world leader with no legal basis?
Okay, look, I think we can all agree that Nicolas Maduro was a bad guy. Venezuela is better off with him in the New York City jail, to be frank. He tortures his own citizens, was a corrupt criminal, and ran fentanyl in the United States. I'm sorry, how is this not a win for America and the world?
So we kidnapped him for sending fentanyl here, even though Venezuela isn't really involved in that?
Well, what was on all those boats that we blew up then?
Fishermen, it appears.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. Uh-huh. Fishermen with a side job of running drugs in the U.S. across the ocean in tiny fishing boats. Those boats don't even have enough fuel to reach the American mainland. That's how desperate they were to get here and kill Americans with fentanyl. I mean, is this really the spilled milk we're crying over here?
And I've noticed that we haven't blown up any more of those boats since the Caracas operation.
Exactly, because Maduro is gone. Looks like Donald Trump just solved yet another problem to me.
So Nicolas Maduro was personally in charge of sending out small fishing boats to deliver fentanyl to the U.S. mainland?
Well, I guess it must be the case if we haven't blown up any more boats since he's been caught. Or maybe his wife. Maybe she was involved, actually. We don't know much about her yet.
Or perhaps just maybe these highly publicized boat destructions by our military were to intimidate Maduro and create a smokescreen distraction to the public to justify invasion?
Jimmy, I'm sorry, but that just doesn't sound like something the United States would do. Sorry.
It's fine. You know, I got to say, Mr. Jennings, I really am in awe of your ability to spin things. Is there anything that Trump could do that you wouldn't find a way to justify? I mean, you sort of painted yourself into a corner career-wise. You have to praise him no matter what.
Quite frankly, Jimmy, I can't foresee Donald Trump doing anything that I would have any problem with. Everything he's done so far is immediately in line with traditional conservatism, and especially his MAGA brand of it. So I say onward and upward.
Donald Trump famously said he could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue and not lose any supporters. What would you say if he did that, hypothetically?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends.
Depends on what?
Well, what was the guy doing? I mean, was it a self-defense type situation? I mean, if the guy was in an SUV and driving slowly near the president, it'd be well within the president's rights to shoot the guy. I'm sorry, but I have to stand with the president on this one.
Wow, tremendous work, Mr. Jennings. I've never seen the like.
Well, thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that.
Has your work taken a toll on any other aspects of your life?
Well, I have developed some severe neurological problems. Doctors say that my line of work may have caused it, and these dang annoying verbal tics I have are most likely a symptom.
Interesting.
But the craziest thing, Sometimes it goes away altogether, especially if I say a sentence like this. I am a liar and a fraud and have completely sold out my morals and sense of norms for financial gain and future political success. I can say with certainty that younger me would be ashamed of current me. See? Nothing. No goo or gee.
How strange.
I know, it's a head scratcher. Well, Jimmy, I got to go. I'm back on the stick over at CNN tonight at 10 p.m. Be sure to tune in. Give all my libtard friends a good drubbing about how Trump made America proud in Davos today.
Okay, have fun. That Abby Phillip, boy, oh boy, that's a lovely woman you work with over at CNN.
Jimmy, I'm a happily married man. I don't see attractiveness in other women, certainly not in coworkers like Abby.
Okay, well, we got to get going, Scott. Thanks for calling. Have a great show, pal. Yeah. Well, it sounds like he has that verbal tick whenever he's lying. So whenever he lies, he verbal tick, and the bigger the lie, the bigger the verbal tick. That's what I put together. That's what it seems like.
It's a subtle sketch. You got to read between the lines.
Yeah, you definitely do. All right. Well, it's great to talk with you again, Mike. Great job on those sketches. Fantastic as always. You want to tell people where they can find you?
Hey, you can find me at Mike McRae Online on Instagram. That's MACRAE. You can go to, I'll be headlining the Velveeta Room, Austin's oldest comedy club, down there on 6th Street at February 13th and 14th. You go to the Velveeta or thevelve.com.
FREE, that spells free. Creditreport.com, baby.
That's me.
Okay. All right, brother. Great job. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, let's take a break and we bring on our next guest.
Still live on Jimmy Dore.
Hi, welcome back, everybody. Derrick Broze is with us again. He's an author, journalist, documentary filmmaker, activist whose work focuses on practical steps individuals can take to reduce their dependence on technocracy and the role of community in achieving long-term independence. Welcome back to the show. He's Derrick Broze. How are you, Derrick?
I'm doing great, Jimmy. Thanks for having me.
You wrote an article recently, so I wanted to have you on and cover it. It's the Venezuelan technocracy connection. The U.S. bombing of Venezuela and capture of Nicolas Maduro cannot be rationally explained as a drug enforcement operation or even solely about recovering oil. The bigger picture is technocracy. So let me just play this video quickly that you had in your article about Donald Trump, and then I'll have you lay out what he's actually saying here. Here we go.
As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did.
You said that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela. So who's in power right now?
Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them. In other words, we'll be selling oil probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries.
Is it possible that the U.S. ends up administrating Venezuela for years?
Well, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is very substantial. So it's not going to cost us anything. We want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing all of our enemies all over the world.
Well, it sounds to me like it's all about oil, but you tell me what it's really about, Derrick.
Yeah, he certainly does lay it on thick there and make it clear that it is about oil in some ways. And I outlined that in the article, the different connections that I know that you've touched on with Thomas Massie in the past recently, and talking about Paul Singer, the billionaire. There are billionaires who stand to benefit from the oil industry and what Trump has done there in Venezuela. But what I'm focused on in this article is to put it in the context of the technocracy movement. And I know that last time we spoke, and you've had others on your show, Whitney Webb and others, speak about the technocracy angle, the influence of people like Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, Palantir on the Trump administration. They're getting huge contracts under ICE and other areas, as well as people like Elon Musk, obviously Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. These are the modern technocrats of today, these folks who are billionaires, almost trillionaires, who have access to all kinds of technology and who believe essentially that they should be the unelected power. And that is the core definition of what a technocrat is from the original technocrat movement back in the 1930s and 40s. It was basically a political movement in the US and Canada that said that us, the people, were too stupid to know what's good for us. The business people weren't doing a good job. This is sort of after the Depression. And they said the politicians don't know what they're doing. So the technocrats proposed that the technologists or the engineers or the experts should be the ones to micromanage and run all of society under what they called a technocracy. And they envisioned this future where there would be what they called the American technate or the North American technate, which they specifically describe as encompassing everything from Greenland, Canada, the US, Mexico, parts of Central America, the Panama Canal, and including in their own map that I included in that article from the 1940s, it shows parts of Venezuela and Colombia as part of this technate that they describe. And essentially, I believe that Trump, the reason he was elected and put into this position, and despite the MAGA thinking that he was resisting the globalists, that in many ways, as you and your audience I think are aware, he is showing he is very much aligned with them in certain areas. And so I think Trump is essentially just fulfilling the plan of Elon Musk's grandfather, Joshua Hadelman, who was a member of the technocracy movement in Canada in that time in 1930s and 40s. And this was their vision, is to create a North American technate, and this would be one of different factions around the world. It's similar to that sort of early 2000s right-wing conspiracy you may have heard about, Jimmy, back in the day, the North American Union. Well, this sure looks a lot like it. And as I point out in the article, I quote the technocrats themselves from back in the 30s and the 40s, where they specifically describe the need for the United States to take Greenland, to take parts of Venezuela, and to make it all under the control of the technocrats.
So this is, so it's kind of mind-blowing to me. This is nothing new then. So this is something that the geeks, as we call them, or the technocrats, they're called today. People like like you mentioned, Peter Thiel's. So is this like what's that guy, Curtis Yarvin? Is this like a kind of
absolutely?
Is this like a kind of a wet dream of his?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought him up, Jimmy. I have another investigation from 2025 that people can find at The Last American Vagabond. That's called Meet the Man Who Influenced Peter Thiel and J.D. Vance. And as I'm sure other guests have discussed, Curtis Yarvin, he went by the pen name Mencius Moldbug for years, writing for what he originally called the neo-reactionaries or the Dark Enlightenment, which eventually became the alt-right, the sort of early MAGA movement. And this still has been existing in the background here. And in fact, in Trump's second administration here, there's been many reports of numerous people in his cabinet who have been influenced by Curtis Yarvin. Obviously, J.D. Vance himself, he specifically said that it was that his philosophy came from Curtis Yarvin, that he credits him directly. And in fact, before the election of last year, he was telling him, he was quoting Yarvin and saying, we need to basically push Trump to make decisions and to put the Supreme Court to see if they'll actually try to enforce their rulings. And then, sort of take that gamble. Can Trump go ahead and do whatever he wants? Will the Supreme Court stop him? All of J.D. Vance's philosophy, to whatever it is influenced by Peter Thiel and Curtis Yarvin. And of course, Peter Thiel and his relationship with Curtis Yarvin has been reported for some time. So absolutely, this does relate to the neo-reactionaries, to the Dark Enlightenment, Curtis Yarvin. This is just the modern version of what we would call the technocracy movement. And if I could, Jimmy, I just want to mention one other point, because people might hear 1930s, 1940s and say, okay, Derrick, this is a map from 100 years ago. What does this have to do with today? The movement and the mainstream version of events essentially kind of petered out. They didn't get a lot of public support. So by the 1950s, if you go read the Wikipedia page, for example, it says the technocracy movement disappeared. It was a failure. But actually, 20 years later, in the 1970s, Zbigniew Brzezinski, who you may be familiar with, is longtime deep state national security advisor, him along with David Rockefeller, they and Henry Kissinger, they formed the Trilateral Commission. And around that time, Zabrinsky wrote a book called The Technotronic Era, America Between Two Ages. He didn't say technocratic, he called it technotronic. But it was essentially just a revival of the same ideas. And both the original technocrats and Zbigniew Brzezinski in the Trilateral Commission, they admit in order for them to get their vision of the world, it would involve a loss of privacy, a loss of individual liberty, a loss of freedom of expression, that there would have to be almost, he kind of describes it as like a world police state in order to enforce this utopia that they promise us is going to deliver paradise. And even the original technocrat movement, they were very obsessed with the the use of energy and how to maximize efficiency. Actually, the predecessor to the technocracy movement was a movement coincidentally called the efficiency movement. And I wrote another article kind of drawing some parallels between that and Doge. And anyways, they even imagined energy credits, what we might call carbon credits today. So they said every person, every country, every individual would be allocated the exact amount of energy credits they need based on, whatever they factor, whatever the experts say. And so what we're witnessing today under Donald Trump's second administration and with all these technocrats in office, including people like Peter Thiel and Alex Karp, who are the heads of Palantir, who also happen to be steering committee members of the Bilderberg Group, including people like Larry Fink, who's the co-interim chair of the World Economic Forum, who's also a decades-long friend of Donald Trump. These people are in the White House working hand in hand with Donald Trump, and they're essentially just fulfilling a plan that goes back to at least the technocrats of 100 years ago.
So this is mind-blowing, kind of, for someone like me anyway. So this is the map you were referring to?
Yeah, that's it right there.
So when was this map drawn up?
That was released in 1940, and one of the technocrats had like monthly magazines and newsletters, and that's from the July 1940 issue.
And so this was their vision, to have everything that's in red here would be kind of under one government control or one techno state, or how?
So they called it a technate, right? And so that whole area, that geographical area would be, as it says on the map, the technate of America. And they described that, interestingly, back in their time, writing in the 1930s and 40s, they said that the technocrats would run the machines. Now, they didn't have computers as we understand them today, but definitely the earliest versions of computer technology was existing at the time. And what they called machines, we might call artificial intelligence today. And basically they said that the technocrats would be the ones to micromanage and to run the machines. And then through those machines, they would divvy up all of the resources using something that's essentially universal basic income. And they said at the top of this technate would sit the techno king, the technocrat king. And that happens to be a nickname that Elon Musk has given himself. Actually, if you go look at the original Tesla bio for Elon, he puts on there, he calls himself the techno king. So they said that at the top of this, there would be a technocrat king that sort of ran things, but they promise it would be, all fair and resources would be allocated perfectly, and it would be better for finances, for resources, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, this is the original plan that, again, I think is just what we're seeing unfold right before our eyes. And, even to talk about that map right there. So what it's showing at the bottom there, the tip of South America, you have Western Venezuela and Northern Venezuela, but you also have Eastern Colombia too. And you may have seen in the news, Trump has been talking a lot of crap to Colombia as well, threatening them, and apparently had a call with the Colombian president recently. And, they've now come to terms, and, he's going to help do some deals with Trump. I think that everything we're seeing, and again, including the Panama section, because BlackRock, through Larry Fink, they bought 2 ports in Panama last year. They specifically said they consulted with Trump before they did it. I think all these pieces that are being put into place, yes, it's about oil. Yes, it could be about resources. Sure, it could be about China and Russia, all those kind of reasons they're telling us. But it also just seems to coincidentally fit with this plan of the Technate of America, which was proposed by technocrats 90 years ago. And Trump is basically working with those people. So I don't really see how. I think it's at least something that deserves our attention. And I heard what you were saying with Thomas Massey and sort of the befuddlement that a lot of people have with watching Trump sell out his own base and his own movement. And it is my belief that this has all been kind of game the whole time. And when the election was happening last year, I was warning people about the Zionist and technocrat connections surrounding Trump, and kind of warning, but also hoping I was wrong, that this is exactly what we would see. And I think from day one, whether you're talking about the Stargate project or any number of other things Trump's done in the last year, it's becoming clear that he is working with these people. He is not getting rid of the Bilderbergers and the WEFs and the young global leaders. He's working with them directly, even if he talks a big game, in front of the cameras.
Do you find it as stunning as I do that a big part of his following, who are specifically opposed to everything you just said, the globalists, the WEF, the techno-feudal lords, the whole, that they're just going along with them blindly as if you're supposed to be loyal to Trump no matter what he does, even if he does the exact opposite of what they wanted him to do? I'm actually shocked.
Yeah, well, I wish I could say I was shocked. I mean, obviously it's demoralizing, Jimmy. I mean, I've been called black-pilled and negative and, liar, all the sorts of names in the book, because MAGA, I will credit those who have woken up, and I've talked to many people who said, look, I voted for Trump 3 times, but I can't believe what he's doing. So it seems like some of the base is definitely recognizing and seeing these things, but you're correct. There are definitely quite a bit of people who I think they never understood from the beginning that it's supposed to be about principles, not party or not a person. So if you have principles, whether that's America first or whatever it may be, you stick with those principles. And if the person you supported who claimed to uphold those principles sells them out and literally does the exact opposite, you don't hold on to the person, you hold on to the principle, you get rid of the party, you get rid of the person, and you stick to your principles because you know that's what's right. And unfortunately, we live in a world in the political realm where there's a huge lack of principles among the politicians, of course, but they unfortunately get lots of their followers to abandon their principles as well. And I think that's just, it's kind of an underlying issue in all of our, all of our political world here, is that people need to recognize that, at least in my view, that I don't think any of these parties, any of these individuals, whoever pops up next, even if it's Massey, he's a great guy. If he runs in 2028 or 2032, I don't think the political system can be saved when both sides are clearly working together in order to bring about these generations-old plans. It doesn't mean things are hopeless, but I do think we need to start looking elsewhere besides failed politics.
I mean, Steve Bannon was on my show before the election. I'm pretty sure it was before the election, and he talked about how he's against these techno-feudal lords, meaning people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, thinking that they're going to install this techno-feudalism. And so I thought, well, good. There's a big, former Trump #1 advisor. He's got a big platform. He's got a lot of influence. So is he really pushing back on this stuff, or is he? What did you make it? What do you make of him saying that?
Yeah, Bannon's an interesting character. You're correct that he has been, at least in the beginning of Trump's second term, very vocally against Zuckerberg, against Musk, and some of these other people. And I think actually makes a pretty good right-wing MAGA sort of class argument about why there's problems associated with them. But I don't know how effective he really is when we have these paid influencers on Twitter, X, and elsewhere who, no matter what Donald Trump says, Benny Johnson, many other people will just repeat it as it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. I think that's a big problem. And then in terms of Bannon, I think somebody needs to ask him about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
You're saying what was that last part? Someone should ask him.
Someone should ask him about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, Bannon. I mean,
we brought it up when we had him on our show, and we asked him when is he going to release, because I guess he's got like hours and hours of he was doing a documentary on Jeffrey Epstein, I guess, and he had never released it, and it's got hours. And so we asked him when he was going to release it, and I forget what he said. He said it came down to basically I'm working on it. But I don't think we'll ever see that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do you think we'll ever see that?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know when you interviewed him and asked him about that, but even in the more recent document releases in the last couple months, there's been more emails between him and Jeffrey Epstein. Nothing that says he was involved in anything illegal, but it does seem like he had a closer relationship, and maybe it was just in pursuit of the documentary you mentioned. But some of them, they seem to be pretty chummy.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, this is it's quite an article. It's quite a revelation to me. And so to think that they were thinking about this stuff, back in the 40s. And of course, I was talking the other day with Kirk on the show, and I was talking about how it feels like we're living in 1984, and how did George Orwell was such a philosopher. And he said he wasn't a philosopher. He didn't have a predictive gift. He was hanging out with the people who were talking about doing all the things that they're doing. And I'm like, and so here this is, and it made me think of what Kurt said. Like, oh my God, they were all thinking about this kind of stuff. They were all talking about all this kind of stuff. He was just listening to them and put it in a book.
Absolutely.
And this is more proof of that Kurt was correct about that. And so,
yeah, and if I just invite people just real quick, Jimmy, if people want to know more about that history, that background, I encourage people to check out my free documentary series called The Pyramid of Power. It's 17 parts, and it goes into kind of everything we described here, but obviously in a bit more detail. People can find that at thepyramidofpower.net.
Okay, everybody check that out. And so, and the reason why, why did they stop there at Venezuela and Colombia? Why there?
Well, I think that the writers, because the movement was mainly based in the United States and Canada, they were still thinking from a American Western kind of centric lens, but they did in their own writings, they did believe that it would be positive for other leaders of the world to form their own technates. And so this is just the North American technate, but they did imagine that if the movement spread and other people saw value in their ideas, that there would be a European technate, there might be an East Asian technate, African technate, things like that. And again, it just sounds very familiar from, obviously we have the European Union, there's the African Union, there's been this theorized conspiracy theory about the North American Union for years that many people like Alex Jones used to warn against, but unfortunately there's quite a bit of people, again, in MAGA media who are promoting this and acting as if it's a positive thing.
This is the exact thing that Trump supporters were against. And now
About
that
a year ago, huh?
now that Trump's doing it, a lot of them, but also many of them are not going like you said. I meet lots of them that aren't going along, and they're very disappointed in Donald Trump, and as they should be. This you could have got this with anybody. It didn't matter who you voted for, and no matter who you vote for, you get John McCain, and this is proof. Here it is. Wow, that's quite a map. All right, Derrick, I appreciate that. His article's up at the Vanguard, and you could check out his Pyramid of Power series, and also his book, A Man of My Word, How I Overcame Addiction, Depression, and Mental and Physical Prison. So everybody check that out. Derrick, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Jimmy. Appreciate you.
Okay, over to Steph.
Okay, did you check out the pyramidofpower.net, ladies and gentlemen? I put the link there for you, doing it one more time. Always good to have Derrick on the show. He brings that article, if you get a chance to read the article, and all the names, all the technocrats. I mean, when I saw Donald Trump in the White House and he had all the technocrats sitting around him, it was like, those are the people that are sitting around. Ugh.
Right?
Yeah, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, I don't know if Karp was there or Theo was there, just like all these, technocrats that obviously have influence over the president. Depressing. Okay, let's see what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's go here. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. La la cha cha. Thank you for the reminder. A rhyme I learned in Mrs. Mooney's fourth grade class in 1992. 30 days is September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31. February alone has 28. That doesn't have any rhythm to me. I don't know if I can remember that. All I would keep remember is February. February sounds like a sad sack. Jimmy, stay within your color palette and you'll look great. I believe you're a summer color palette person, and I have provided a link for you.
So you don't think, is olive summer or no?
I think you look good in that.
Thank you. I think I have a lot of colors. I think I'm a good in blues, of course. Blues. I feel very comfortable in black. I feel comfortable in lavender, purple for shirts, and now I feel comfortable in this. I don't know. Orange also. I like orange, peach, almost every color, I would say.
I don't like yellow.
I don't wear yellow.
You've worn it a couple times.
I've worn it.
I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's the one. Yeah, I think I have a yellow
T-shirt, but I was like, nope,
not good. But
I didn't like that yellow. I think a pale yellow for you would be fine when you're brown.
Well, at first I got this is a wool T-shirt. I didn't like it because it looked like a dirty, like a white T-shirt that got dirty.
Yeah, I saw it. I think you wore it yesterday, and I was like, why does that look?
But I'm like, oh, wait a minute. If I put it with this olive shirt, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it totally does.
I don't have kids, so this is what I spend my time thinking about. If I had kids, I wouldn't have time to think about shit like this. Nor would I care. But I don't have kids, and that's what God wanted for me.
It would be nice if you didn't keep throwing that in my face.
God
we
wanted,
don't have kids.
That's what God wanted for me. That's what God wanted, and that's what I have to tell myself every morning when I wake up. I don't have any kids. I have to go, that's what God wanted. What God wanted.
Okay.
A lot of my friends don't have kids. Todd Glass. We're not friends anymore. But we were
but when
close.
we were friends.
But when we were friends, we were such close friends.
Yes, I remember a couple.
It's like it was a deep enough friendship that it even carries over to when we stopped being friends. So it's like we had more friendship in those years than more people had in 50 years.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, it's still lingering.
Big laughs.
Yeah.
Big laughs. Hard to replace that.
We really were simpatico on so many things.
We were. It's weird having you talk while the camera's on me and you just keep
talking.
Why. Well, because sometimes you don't like it going to you. You have to say, "Come to me."
You could come
because we've been in situations where
That's
we go
right.
there and we're like, "Whoo!"
But anyway,
shit, fuck.
So anyway, he doesn't. Alan Havey, another good friend, doesn't have my friend Howie Scora.
Some people don't even want us to mention their names.
That they don't have kids?
Yeah,
I don't think it's a secret.
But they're still our friends.
Oh, they're still
with
our
us.
friend. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
They're
But
like, leave
Howie
me
comes
out
on
of it.
Howie comes on. Oh, I got to get Alan Havey on the show. He's got a new YouTube channel.
No kidding.
Yep. Yeah.
That's right.
He's giving the comedy advice to the kids. It's fun to give comedy advice.
Especially when you're funny.
Especially if
It's
you're funny.
hard giving comedy advice to somebody who's not funny. And there's a lot of people out there that think they're funny. You know, the hardest thing is when people are like, I have a joke for you. Now, when you say that, if a comedian just goes, they're being nice. All right? They're, yeah. All right? Or anyways. No, I don't do that to you all the time, Misha. Please. That's defaming me. All right, here we go. Invading Venezuela is America first. It's just not American people first. Rorschach. Yo, this dude was on the Adam Friedland show the other week. Anthony, that was my impression of you. I know it wasn't a good one, Anthony. I don't know. It's just because you started with yo. Goo. Very angry laundromat. Funny. They want Greenland to install those data centers. They will be cheaper to operate there and better protected. Bye-bye, YouTube. Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. Read their books. H.G. Wells, Bertrand Russell, Charles Galton, Darwin, Huxley, B.F. Skinner, Brzezinski, Jacques Attali, Gorbachev, Albert Pike, Manly P. Hall. They tell us what they are going to do and what they're doing, right? Ed, thank you, Ed, for that hot tip. And you know what, Callie, you came in and you go, this is only the U.S. part of the map that you're talking about. And here I've provided a link for the whole world. Here's the full map. Thank you so much for that, Callie. I'll share it with the team. Much appreciated.
By the way, there's a free movie on YouTube. It's very old. It's by H.G. Wells. It's called Things to Come. And it's about British, high-tech fascists after the nuclear war bringing order and ruling the world and forming their one new world order with air superiority.
What's the name
H.G.
of it
Wells
again?
is way into that.
What's the name of it?
Things to Come.
Things to Come. All right.
H.G. Wells. It was before 1938 it was made.
All right, I'll just type that in so we all remember. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy is getting ready to do a book club. Announcement to be made soon. Book club.
Tell them the name of the book.
Oh, can I just go get it? Let me get the book.
Do whatever you want.
All right. I'm going to get the book. Yeah, show Kirk. Thank you.
Hi, Kurt.
Hey.
Talk about what you did this morning.
Oh, I did what Dad did. I talked to Natalie, who used to be a Jehovah's Witness like me.
And how'd that go?
Pretty fun. I went on and on and on. I could just yap and yap.
Sure.
Okay, Steffi's back. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, so Jimmy was inspired by Candace, who was reading Chaos and some other books, and so he decided he wants to do a book club too, and he wants to start the book club, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, I hope it's Harry Potter." It's not. It's not going to be Harry Potter.
I was going to ask you if it was Harry Potter.
I know. I know. I know. Maybe that'll be the next one. But this one is called Memories, Dreams, Reflections. And it's Carl Jung, ladies and gentlemen. Carl Jung.
Oh, they're going to say Dreams of My Father by Barack Obama. Dreams of My Father, whoever that is.
So if you want to, if you're one of our premium streamium members, or you want to become a premium streamium member, it's $10 a month. You can get all the live streams. You get them all, bitches. You get them all. And then, and you know, a lot of times, you know, on our live streams, we don't necessarily just, you know, you don't catch the live banter between Jimmy and Kurt sometimes when we're in between stories. But you know, you can do that for $10 a month, or you can do
don't
$5
miss out on this banter.
Banter. And then $5 a month, you get the audio, and you just go to jimmydore.com and sign up. And we're going to start this. So we're going to start reading it February 1st, ladies and gentlemen. It's over 400 pages. So it's approximately 5 pages a day that you can read. You can read more than that, certainly. And so we'll have about, I think we'll read it for 90 days. Okay, so it gives everybody plenty of time to get through it, and that we can cover it. And we're probably going to do it similar to the model that Candace has, where every other week we will come back and we'll chat about this and take your questions about it. And so once again, ladies and gentlemen, Memories, Dreams, and Reflections, Carl Jung, get your copy. Ladies and gentlemen, get your copy. And feel the young, somebody just said. Feel the young. Somebody just already gave a summary of it. Summary: Memories, Dreams, Reflections details Jung's childhood, his personal life, and his explorations of the psyche, where the interview and the interviewee confine themselves to strictly, I don't know what the next part was. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Let's see. Let me see if anything else. Dark Cryptos. Hello. Oh, the Red Book. Oh my God. We got the most beautiful copy of the Red Book. I would love to share that with you. It's a little heavy right now. It's in the other room. All right, let me see what else I have. Well, thank you. That's so nice of you, Jason, for saying this is awesome. Let's just do the Red Book. You can't just get into the Red Book, the real Darth. Face Like a Dog says, I feel young again. I think that seems like a pretty good t-shirt. Feel young again. All right, let's see here. Sounds good, United States says. All right. Oh, and then Bob Atlantis, you're thinking of another book. You're saying The Young and the Restless. Cute, Bob. I appreciate that. Oh, this just in. Let's see what we got here. Steph, Leopard Rules. Captain Spaulding's Duck Dynasty has potential. Jimmy cracked corn poo and he don't care. And then there's Misha, the gingerbread winner of the house. Ladies and gentlemen, who was that? Unvaccinated guy for the win. Thank you, unvaccinated guy. I got to give you some bells here. Thank you so much. All right. The Red Book appears in The Shining? What? What are you talking about, Second Chance? What does Kurt think of Deep State Dan Bongino by Crack Amico?
Oh, I meant to send it to Jimmy and I forgot.
No kidding.
We should watch it. Crack Amico's got a new one about Deep State Dan Bongino. I like it a lot.
Oh, okay. So
I meant to send that to you.
Should we talk about that on Friday?
I don't know. It's a wonderful video. Great job. I feel that we should play my as every chance I get, I want to play my Kash Patel video. My wonderful Kash Patel video.
Oh yeah. We can't miss out on that. All right. So hold on. That was I'll make sure that we watch that. Thank you, Randy. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. How you doing over there, Jim? Okay, let's see. Crack Amico rules. All right, I'll have to check that out.
Okay.
All right, back to Jim.
So they're having the big Davos meeting. Trump is there to speak also. And so Mr. Cool Guy, who's married to a dude, no, nothing wrong with that.
Nice glasses.
His lady's got a, that's all.
Well, I'll tell you verification. She said French feminists are stupid bitches in a recording. And when somebody played the recording, she said, hey, I said what I said. So that's the whole thing we call big dick energy around these parts.
So he was saying stuff. He said European leaders have lined up to condemn Donald Trump's new colonialism and more. So he's going to take over Greenland. So they're pushing back. All the NATO countries in Europe, they're pushing back against Trump taking over Greenland, right? And they're saying this is wrong. And Trump threatened to. So that's what that is. And they watched and assisted the U.S. in setting precedents that shredded international law to pieces, and now they want to piece it back together for their own use. So what's actually happened is the UK Parliament, the European Union Parliament, the EU has suspended approval of the U.S.-EU trade deal because Trump threatened 10 to 25% tariffs on Europe and revived his push to take Greenland. EU lawmakers said Trump's Davos remarks violated the pact's terms. So, here's...
Is Israel okay or not?
It is essential, friends. History teaches us a simple truth. Appeasement does not bring peace. It invites more aggression.
So they're saying don't appease Donald Trump, what he's doing in Greenland. By the way, they're all okay with what he's doing in the West Bank, what he's doing in Gaza, what he's doing in Iran, what he did in Venezuela, what he's doing in Ukraine. They're all okay with all of that.
Appeasement works great on Israel. That's why everything's so peaceful.
That's right. But now they want to push back against Donald Trump. They don't want to appease him.
And this would only embolden Trump and invite further, increasingly reckless demands. So, like my colleagues, I am demanding a robust response from you, Commissioner Callas, and also from the leadership within our union. We can try diplomacy, but we should not be afraid to hit Donald Trump where it hurts. He exploits hesitation and despises weakness. We need to hit him where it hurts. Thank you.
So that was that. They suspended approval of their trade deal after Trump's threatening to ramp up their tariffs. And now guess what? Trump just backed down. Trump backs down on Greenland.
We're not getting Greenland?
Trump backs down on Greenland and then cancels the tariff threat after NATO agrees to future Arctic deal. So it sounds like Trump actually got something. It sounds like all his bluster and threats got him a future Arctic deal. So let's see. Let's see. President Trump on Wednesday scrapped the tariffs that he threatened to impose on 8 European nations to press for U.S. control over Greenland, pulling a dramatic reversal shortly after insisting he wanted to get the island, including right title and ownership. In a post on his social media site, Trump said he had agreed with the head of NATO on a framework of a future deal on Arctic security, potentially diffusing tension that had far-reaching geopolitical implications. He said additional discussions on Greenland were being held concerning the Golden Dome missile defense program, a multi-layer $175 billion system. Believe me, it's going to be 10 times that.
Oh, that's a bargain, $175 billion.
$175 billion, I'd say let's go. It is not going to be.
It's not the first time the U.S. put weapons in space either.
And he says it's going to be the first time U.S. puts weapons in space, except for those energy weapons. Anyway, Trump offered few details, saying they were still being worked out. But one idea NATO members have discussed as part of a compromise with, I like to call it a compromise. A compromise with Trump was that Denmark and the alliance would work with the U.S. to build more U.S. military bases on Greenland. Trump wants their natural minerals. That's what, you know who wants it? Trump's donors. His Zionist donors want it. That's why Trump's got this great push for Greenland.
We must have it.
That's according to a European official familiar with the matter, but not authorized to comment publicly. The official who spoke on condition of anonymity said it was not immediately clear if that idea was included in the framework Trump announced. So it seems like temporarily Trump has backed down on this Greenland land grab. Sounds funny to say it like that, but it sounds like he's going to get something he wants anyway. So it sounds like it. So the European trade dealers back on, the tariffs are back off, and everybody's happy and friends again. So so apparently the Greenland land grab is over. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't done.
I'm
a little disappointed. I want him to destroy NATO. That's what I feel.
Because that's what this was going to do. Trump would have been his greatest achievement had he destroyed NATO, because this would have destroyed NATO. So if he went and took over Greenland and Canada and all the NATO, there's a thing called Article 5 in the NATO clause that says if anybody attacks a NATO country, it's as if they attacked you if you're part of the NATO. So that would be like Trump attacking the NATO because Denmark owns Greenland. They're a part of the NATO. And Canada had already said they would honor Article 5, meaning they would see it as an attack on them. So this would have wrecked NATO. And it's a bummer that, and for that reason alone, it's a bummer Trump's not doing it.
I know. Like,
I really don't care. How many people live in Greenland? 5 people? Seriously.
Aren't they already a colony of Denmark, and that's who they're fights with?
Yeah, they're a colony of Denmark.
Yeah.
What's the population of Greenland? 56,000 people live in Greenland. More people live on my block.
There's only 56,000
56,000 people live in Greenland.
Are you kidding? So it's like a town?
That's not even a congressional district in the United States. It's 750,000 people, I think, are in every congressional district.
So mostly minerals live there, not even that many people.
And so if taking over Greenland and taking away their sovereignty over their own country, which they don't have, it actually is Denmark. if that split up NATO, I'd say I'd be willing to pay that price.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to pay that price.
Yeah. Because that could be the way out of Russia, you know?
That's right.
Or out of Ukraine.
The whole
thing.
Let
them worry about Russia. They're going to fight a war on 2 fronts against Putin and Trump.
But NATO, but here's why Trump will stay in NATO, because there's a part, if you're part of NATO, you have to spend a certain amount of your GDP on weapons. And who makes the weapons? The Trump's donors, the military industrial complex in the United States. So that's why there was such a push to expand NATO and get all these countries in it, because the donor class was pushing them to push for expansion of NATO, because the donor class is the military industrial complex and they get to make all the weapons, because when you join, so that's why Trump won't actually pull us out, because he's a cuck to the donors, just like all politicians. He's a cuck to them, except for Thomas Massey, I guess. That's what. So I don't know. I actually take this as a negative. I was hoping Trump would go ahead, but because I'd like to see NATO destroyed.
It's such a ridiculous thing that, like, I mean, just the wreckage of it alone on the West, it'd be the kind of wreckage that hurts the top for a change.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes. So anyway, if you'd like to hear my jokes about this, come see me February 20th in Lansing, Michigan, and then February 21st in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Over to Steph. You got anything to read?
I sure do, Jim. Here we go. Now, Sandra's back about your colors, Jimmy. Loudon good for you, olive bad. Can have your colors done professionally. Be sure they use the summer, autumn, winter, spring palettes. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Sandra.
I think this looks okay on me.
Jimmy, I'd have to speak to a professional before I know for sure it's your right color scheme.
It's olive.
That color looks fine on you. What's the problem with that color?
Somebody who's an expert saying it's not my color.
Do you have peach on the screen for a reason? You have the color peach shirt.
Oh, here's me in peach.
Can you show Jimmy right now?
Look, there's me wearing peach.
I'd like to see you in a ham. Do they have that shirt in ham?
That is not a color.
Does this come in ham? That's what I like to say when I'm trying on shirts.
Something in a ham.
Like salmon, but a little duller.
Not salmon. What was that blue called? Was it called Pirate or Pinter? What was it called?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Remember?
I know, but it was something with a P. But as soon as you said pirate,
it was something with a P.
It's like the other day we were trying to remember somebody's name.
So I want to talk to people about the rules-based order because the Prime Minister of Canada,
Skipper. And no, it wasn't me. It was for my good friend Dennis Negri.
Okay, let's start over.
Restart.
So I wanted to talk to people about the rules-based order because I've talked about the rules-based order before and how it's BS. And now the Prime Minister of Canada, now this is the whole thing of why the West is supposed to be seen as moral. The West, meaning NATO, Europe, the United States, Canada,
the lizard people.
That we're all supposed to be better than places like Saudi Arabia and wherever, Iraq, Iran, because we follow a rules-based order, right?
What?
That
Not
since
legal?
World War II, Kirk, you know this, the rules-based order, and now the Prime Minister of Canada is now agreeing with Jimmy Dore that the rule-based order was always false. But first, I want to show you how I broke it down before.
Just in Ukraine's interest. It is in the global interest to protect, as the Secretary pointed out, the rules-based international order.
The rules-based, meaning what we say goes, because we don't follow any rules. When we invaded Afghanistan and occupied it for 20 years, we weren't following any rules-based order. When we invaded Iraq and killed 1 million people, we weren't following any rules-based order. When we illegally invaded Libya, bombed out of them, turned that state into a failed state with open slave market, we weren't following any rules-based order. When we went and dropped 26,000 bombs in Syria, we weren't following any rules-based order. They call it rules-based order. What they mean is the United States rules the world. That's what this is about. So we don't follow any rules or order. That's all bull. Right now, we're occupying a third of Syria. Which third? The oil parts. We're stealing Syria's oil right now. What rule does that fall under? So what he's saying here, so you have to know what you're looking for. What he's actually saying, this is about us staying in control of the world.
Ukraine.
He's just saying it. And if you don't know what the words mean, that's what they mean. We are going to be in control of the world, and that's why we're fighting in Ukraine.
So guess who now agrees with me? The Prime Minister of Canada. I was watching my buddy Glenn Greenwald show, and he was playing this video, and my jaw was on the floor. Let's watch.
For decades, countries like Canada prospered under what we call the rules-based international order.
So for decades, Canada prospered under the rules-based order.
We joined its institutions, we praised its principles, we benefited from its predictability. And because of that, we could pursue values-based foreign policies under its protection. We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false.
Whoa. We knew the story of the rules-based order was partially false. Really?
Because you helped make it up.
Here we go. Right? Because you helped make it up. Here we go.
That the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient.
That the strongest countries would exempt themselves from the rules-based order when it was convenient.
I knew that too. Am I a fancy bank man?
Yeah. How did I know
I got
that?
3 passports?
I've been saying that for years, ever since the beginning of forever. But certainly that video clip was from the beginning of the Ukraine war in 2022.
Hey,
and now
I'm a Davos man.
You got a Davos man, a guy who went to Oxford, Harvard, a guy who's been an international banker his entire life. He was the head of the bank and now he's the head of Canada, and now he's saying that the rules-based order was false, but we went along with it because we prospered.
Did we?
So but now...
Trade exempt themselves when convenient. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically.
That trade rules, so the first thing that was false about the rules-based order was that the biggest countries didn't follow them. The second one was that they didn't enforce trade rules equally. So, again, it's might makes right. That's what the rules-based order is, which is what I was saying in 2022 after the invasion of the Ukraine. What do you want to say, Kurt?
They didn't call it the legal order.
Right.
They didn't say the law.
That-
They called it the rules-based order. So like a scumbag tech company, they can change the rules whenever they want without telling you.
So there's
a law's a little harder.
There used to be a saying,
He who has the gold makes the rules?
Yes. He who has the gold makes the rules. And that's so that's why they say rules-based order, and we had the gold and we make the rules. So here he keeps going.
And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused.
And international law, did you hear what he said? He's saying international law only applied. Well, let me back it up.
And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused.
With varying rigor, meaning that the law was applied at our leisure, that it wasn't applied universally, and it depended on if the law was going to be applied towards the United States, it didn't. But if it applied towards something like Iraq or Libya or Syria or Russia, then it mattered. But if it but okay, so we didn't. Okay,
for the victim, this fiction was useful. And American hegemony, in particular, helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system.
So he's saying this fiction that everything was equal and everybody followed rules-based order, even though we didn't, even though it was might make right, even though it was unequal enforcement of the law. We all pretended that it wasn't those things. We pretended it was on the up and up and it was rules-based order because we all profited from this lie.
Don't tell Konstantin Kissin from Trigonometry
right?
this. He's going to take this hard.
Right? And by the way, this isn't like Zoloft Mondavi saying this.
No.
This is the most fastball down the middle globalist you can find is this guy. He's not a lefty. He's not a radical. It's not Noam Chomsky. It's not Zoloft Mondami saying
international banker.
He's an international banker who went to Oxford, went to Harvard, now is the head of Canada, eh? And he's saying that it was always bull, but nobody said anything because we all prospered under it. Okay.
Well, I said something and you said something.
But I said something. Kirk?
That's weird. He means him and his dickhead friends prospered.
That's right. Here we go.
Collective security and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct.
So they went along with it. But now it no longer works.
Because it costs them money.
So they never said shit about Iraq. They never said shit about Libya. They never said anything about Syria. They never said anything about Venezuela. They never said anything about Afghanistan, about Yemen, about Somalia, about the Sudan. They never said anything about anything. And in fact, they went along with the lie of Ukraine, that was somehow rules-based order. They went along with that even. But now the lie is starting to bite them in the ass, meaning they're going to go take Greenland away from Denmark. Okay, here we go.
We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited.
Yeah, and so now it's affecting us. And so now we have to call out the lie because now it's being pointed at us.
It's fine if it's you getting
It's fine if it's someone else's country, but now it's being pointed at us. They're doing tariffs on us now.
He's remarkably forthcoming.
It's unbelievable how he's actually telling the truth. People don't know how unbelievably important this is, what he's saying, because you can never undo this.
Yeah, right.
You can never undo that he's saying this, that it has always been a lie. And they've all benefit under U.S. imperialism.
This isn't some jerk-off president of the United States. This is an international banker.
Someone who's really important.
Yeah, he's bigger than the president of Canada. I know he's prime minister of Canada. That means nothing.
That's right.
He's an international 3-passport banker, one of the highest authorities in the world.
He was the head of the Bank of England, wasn't he?
So you know he's a good man.
Yeah. So now he's saying, whoa, now the lie that we've all participated in, that was why we went into Ukraine, why all that other stuff was allowed to happen. Now it's coming back to Ed being pointed at us, and we have to make a righteous stand against it. That's what he's saying.
Hey, buddy, Chatham House this one, you know?
Yeah.
Chatham House rules this.
You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
So he's saying we can't go along with the lie anymore because now it's being used against us. It's used for our subordination. That's what he's saying.
I know, Mark Carney. I got that impression quite some time ago.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
As inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations reasserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options? In 1978, the Czech dissident Václav Havel, later president, wrote an essay called The Power of the Powerless. And in it, he asked a simple question: how did the communist system sustain itself? And his answer began with the greengrocer. Every morning, the shopkeeper places a sign in his window: "Workers of the world unite." He doesn't believe it. No one does. But he places the sign anyway to avoid trouble, to signal compliance, to get along.
So, Kurt, if you realize what he's doing here, Kurt, is he's telling you how communism lasted so long, the Iron Curtain and all that stuff.
And lockdowns.
Was because they all went along with the big lie.
Yeah.
And they all, workers of the world unite. Like they were pretending that that's what was happening under communism, which it wasn't what was happening.
My jaw has dropped. I thought you were exaggerating. I thought you were exaggerating a little bit. My jaw has been open the whole time. I cannot believe any of what's happening right now.
So he's saying just like that lie that he put in this is the workers of the world uniting, which it wasn't. That's not how the way they perverted communism. And so communism and the Iron Curtain was never about workers united. It was anyway.
They perverted socialism. That's what communism was. The appropriation by Wall Street bankers, by the way.
So now he's saying that lie. We've used just a similar lie to keep this capitalism going. And now it's time to stop the lie. Well, anyway, let's see. He keeps going.
And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists. Not through violence alone, but through the participation of ordinary people in rituals they privately know to be false.
Just like what he's admitting, Kurt, what he's admitting is that we've all participated in this lie. Just like the shop owners in Czechoslovakia under the Iron Curtain, under communism. We've all participated in this lie. So we have one lie, our rules-based order lie, replaced another lie.
So we need a new one.
And so here we go.
Havel called this living within a lie. The system's power comes not from its truth, but from everyone's willingness to perform as if it were true.
Just like he's admitted that they performed along the rules-based order. It didn't come from the strength of the rules-based order didn't come from its truth. It came from the lie that everybody participated in. He's saying that. This is international banker, head of the Bank of England, Prime Minister of Canada, Oxford, Harvard. This is the guy saying that it was all a lie. We all participated in. You can't undo this.
They're banking on it.
Here we go.
And its fragility comes from the same source. When even one person stops performing, when the greengrocer removes his sign, the illusion begins to crack. Friends, it is time for companies and countries to take their signs down. 4 decades. We shouldn't allow the rise of hard power to blind us to the fact that the power of legitimacy, integrity, and rules will remain strong if we choose to wield them together. Which brings me back to Havel. What does it mean for middle powers to live the truth? Well, first, it means naming reality. Stop invoking rules-based international order as though it still functions as advertised.
You said it never worked that way, and you knew it didn't, asshole. You said you knew it. You all knew. By the way, the COVID lockdowns, everybody going along to get along?
Yeah.
Carney, oh, wow, I hate him.
Call it what it is. A system of intensifying great power rivalry where the most powerful pursue their interests using economic integration as coercion.
He just told you what the whole system that the Western world have been operating under since World War II. He just told you what it is. It's actually a system of coercion.
Oh,
it's not got nothing to do with democracy or liberty or the oppressed and bringing freedom to people. It's all about the strongest economic powers coercing. I'll back it up and play it for you again.
A system of intensifying great power rivalry
a system of intensifying great power rivalry,
where the most powerful pursue their interests using economic integration as coercion.
Using economic integration as coercion.
The way he wanted to do, but he can't because he's mid.
But what's that?
They want to do that in Canada. They were, but they can't because they're a mid power. He
That's
said
right.
mid.
The mid. He's a mid power.
Mid.
Yeah.
You're being generous, buddy.
It's a generous to say mid, exactly.
Yeah.
And now that it got turned towards them with Trump's tariffs and wanting to take Greenland and now he's like, whoa, now we have to call the lie out. Here we go.
It means acting consistently, applying the same standards to allies and rivals.
You know, the thing we've never done. Now we have starting now. We're going to act consistently, and we're going to uphold the same standards on our friends as our rivals. Starting now. Starting. You can't undo this. That was I was watching Glenn Greenwald. That's the point he made. I can't. And when he said, I was like, "You're right.
I can't wait to stick.
You
this
can't
in the
undo
face.
this. This is done forever. This is always going to be there."
Yeah.
When middle powers criticize economic intimidation from one direction but stay silent when it comes from another,
like we've always done.
Hey, such an atom. Watch this guy. You guys.
So when he's saying we criticize economic coercion when it comes from places like China.
Yeah.
But we were quiet when it came from other places, like the United States.
Yeah. They weren't that critical of China neither. Kind of let that seep in pretty quickly.
Well, now he's making economic alliances with China.
We are keeping the sign in the window.
We are keeping the sign. So, yeah. All right. So he's saying we were the ones perpetuating that lie. This is amazing.
Central digital currency. Here we come.
Yep. And so now you can't undo. And now Trump is called off. Temporarily, at least, Trump has called off his push to take over Greenland because they somehow appeased him. He got something else, and it's some future deal about the Arctic. I don't know what it is.
I feel like they're not telling us what it is.
Yeah, this is breaking news. But by the way, we've known that this has been a dream of the technocrats. Kurt, I don't know if you saw the segment I did before I brought you on, but this has been a dream of the technocrats to get from Venezuela to Greenland and the Arctic under a techno state.
Yeah, the Noahide. I keep saying Noahide techno state. Professor Zhang calls it Pax Judaica because they're going to make the capital in Israel now. But that's Elon's grandpapa wanted that.
Yes, Elon.
That's what Sir Big New Brzezinski. It's the Greater America Project.
Yes, this is the Greater America Project. That's exactly right, Kurt.
So I think we're going to be de-enslaved from England, how we were for the last century, and now enslaved by Israel. We're going to be out of that thing because World War I, that was Britain, brought us into that. This guy's a tool of England, right? Head of the Bank of England. NATO is a tool of their stupid soft power. All the Ivy League schools and all these scumbags it's British soft power. But now we're going right under Israel completely and not under the, because Bush and Obama and them are all related to the king and queen. You know that, right?
I think I had heard that before.
Yeah, they're all related. It's just one. It's like World War I, where a bunch of families got in a fight, and they tell you it's because someone shot which makes zero sense.
The Archduke.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Who
Why
cares?
would that mean?
So here it is. So this is the Greater America Project. This is what. So and guess what? Greenland's part of it.
Oh,
that's Greenland,
great.
Right?
So proud. I can't wait.
And so guess what else is part of it? Venezuela.
Yeah.
This is from the 40s.
And they're going to even out all our standards of living to equal out with the ones that they've been plundering for years. So everybody's got to be lowered. We need a good pandemic.
That's right.
Things have changed. We can never go back to the way it was where you were paid not properly, but better.
So this is what they call the technate of America. Yeah. So there it is again. So boom, boom, boom. It all goes all the way down to Venezuela and even Colombia.
Oh,
so they've been talking about this and that the techno guys are going to be the kings.
Mm-hmm. And you're subscribe to service.
So this fell off in the 50s, this idea, but then it was reboomed by Zbigniew Brzezinski when he did the Trilateral Commission with Henry Kissinger and Rockefeller.
By the way, David Rockefeller, watch Anarchy Lucas. David Rockefeller is a dark dude. These are some of the most evil people ever walk the earth. And so, hey, maybe now we could have UFO disclosure once we get the Greater America Project done and we live in the techno state.
So this is what they're doing. They're doing a tech. So Trump called off his Greenland thing, but they're going to give him a promise of something else that he's going to be able to get. And I bet you he gets Greenland anyway.
Yeah, I thought
because
Denmark
he
was
has
going to give it to him.
Because he has a Jewish donor, a Zionist Jewish donor who wants Greenland and has wanted Greenland since his first term. And he wants all that. He's investing. And just like when one of Trump's donors invests in Argentina, Trump gives $60 billion to Argentina to bail him out, or $40 billion.
By the way, these donors, it's like Jewish, but
I mean, I'm talking about Argentina. Did I say Venezuela? I meant Argentina. So just like when Trump's billionaire donor invests in Argentina, starts to lose his ass, Trump gives a $40 billion bailout to Argentina, which is really a bailout to his donor, who's in bed with George Soros.
Yeah, and by the way, did you not like George Soros and the Democrat billionaires? Well, meet your new billionaires.
Yeah,
they all serve. It's like what I can't believe is, I say it's for Israel, but let's face it, it's for like 3 guys that don't even live in Israel but want it over there. And then the chumps that would still be loyal to Israel, I feel bad for, because they're like the chumps that are still loyal to America.
So anyway, I'm mixing stories a little bit, but that's what Mark Carney is talking about.
I've been blathering about the Technate for weeks and weeks and weeks.
And I haven't really understood what you were saying, but now I do.
I know. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? It sounds like crazy gibberish.
So it's amazing to listen to Mark Carney say the same gosh darn thing I was saying at the start of the Ukraine war. That there is no rules-based order. It never was. It's all lie. It's whatever. The order and the rules are what we say goes. That's the rules-based order.
That's what Israel is. They have no constitution. They have a rules-based order, and then the rules change depending on what the dictator wants in your ethno-theocracy.
All right. And if you'd like to hear my jokes about this, come see me February 20th up in Lansing, Michigan, February 21st in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Don't Google tickets. Go to my website because anybody else is going to charge you more. Over to Steph.
May Jess says, hold on, May Jess. You gave us a generous. Bam. D. Michael Tripp on X posted a Navy Intel guy claiming that Intel blackmails podcasters using their search histories. Is there anyone you would suspect is being blackmailed?
Fuentes.
Is there anyone you suspect?
I don't have to think about it for 2 seconds.
Because they flipped. Aha. Interesting.
Because his searches are all trans prostitute. I can't remember what it's called, the website. But Blair White, who's a friend of the show, Blair White, had a whole thing where Nick was trying to get into some trans circle. And he was like, only the hot people can show up. Nick is gay or something like it. I don't know what his deal is.
I love a hot trans woman. They know how to be hot. The hot ones.
Yeah, right.
Not the ones who look like they're going to carry a refrigerator.
It's really the guy going, it's ma'am. And you're like, you didn't really put in the effort, did you, bro?
Yeah. Not the... I like the trans ladies who I'm like, wow, that's a sexy lady.
Because they never obnoxious. Because you know why? So much of it is the politics of passing.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. It's the ones that don't want to pass that I have a...
Well, some can't. I mean, that's why they want to trans kids.
But my whole thing is...
you're an adult.
But I talk about this on stage about if you're a very masculine-looking trans woman, you don't have to wear a dress. You don't have to do that to be a woman. That doesn't make you a woman because you're wearing a dress.
I'm actually a woman, and you tell me I'm not. Why would
you can't tell me
what you say? I'm what I say I am.
I wear a dress well, just to let you know. And I got no shame.
Kill, Jimmy.
I got no shame in saying that. I actually had a cop shave my legs once so I could look good in a dress. That actually happened.
Yeah. All these bitches are jealous of how good I look in a dress.
That's right.
That's what I always say.
You ever have your legs dry shaved? Tough.
Not by a cop.
And I had it done by a Chicago cop. And for the sole point, I would look better in a dress. And I did. And I passed. Nobody knew.
Is there any more context to it, or just we can leave it at that?
We can just leave it at that. I'll tell the story maybe on a premium episode. How about that?
What color was the dress?
But it was the color of the dress, lavender.
Oh,
I look good in
him.
lavender. And I wore a wedge. I couldn't wear heels because at that time, but
you have to learn how to walk in them. It's hard. It's like walking on stilts.
A wedge. I could do a wedge. So I got nothing against the trans, nothing against just a fellow who likes to look pretty in a dress. But if you don't look pretty in a dress,
don't make me pretend you do.
Don't make me. It's funny. It's funny. It's like those old Bud Light commercials when the guys would try to dress up and go get, they had hair.
Hot.
They had hair on their chest and they're trying to pass as a woman so they could get into ladies' night and get cheap booze.
Well, that just sounds non-binary if you keep the hair on these shows. So
and my friend Rich Brown had a great joke about he had actually a joke about it before they did those commercials. He goes, I wore a dress sometimes to show up because I want to get a discount on ladies' night. The guy says, yeah, well, you look like a man. Yeah, not much of a man.
Macron's wife pulls it off. Come on.
What's that?
Macron's wife's been pulling it off.
She's been pulling it off. No, I hear people in France. Honestly, I've heard people. Somebody was talking to somebody in France and said, "Hey, Macron's wife is a guy," and they go, "Yeah, everybody knows." Like everybody, yeah, it's so big. It's France.
There's a French comic that was here that said, "No, it's not. He's actually gay, and she's a beard." And I'm like, I have a question for you. Why would he have to hide that he's gay in France?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, are they mad because he's not openly gay?
Why wouldn't they get a real woman to be his beard? Why?
A better question, Jimmy. That's an excellent question.
That's a weird way to get a beard. Hey, let's get another dude.
A real woman, when she's caught calling feminists dumb bitches on a recording, doesn't tell them, "Shut up, bitches, I said what I said." She doesn't say that. I mean, respect to that dude he's married to. I got a lot of respect for Macron's wife now.
Let me see. Let me see if I have any. Do I have any Dave Rubin jokes? Okay. So
but
I'm watching.
Still funny.
So I'm watching. Is this the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is she talking to?
So she's talking to that Coleman guy, that Baron Coleman.
Okay.
Who does a lot of good investigative reporting. So here she is. Here's Candace Owen. She's going to tell you her opinion of Dave Rubin. And I'm going to show you why she's saying this. Okay, here we go. Or what prompted her to say this. What? Oh, yeah, this is the Dave. No, I don't think this. No.
The one I sent in was the Erika Kirk thing with probably also with him.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Watch this.
Obvious to me that they were grooming him into thinking he was a homosexual because he was just probably an inexperienced, shy kid. That's the reason I stopped being friends with Dave Rubin. I never shared that story.
Wait a minute. Go to Steph. I screwed this up somehow.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Macron wearing sunglasses to hide the shiner his wife gave him, battered husband syndrome. That's from my_war. Did look
I
like
wouldn't doubt it. Oh my God. Oh, great comment. I would not doubt that. Of course, Macron's wearing shades because his wife
you can show Jimmy.
Hit him in the eye with his dick. What do you say, Kurt? What is that?
Yeah, no, I agree. She caught him doing coke again. Remember when she punched him on the plane?
Yeah.
After he got done at his coke party with
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's Candace Owen talking about Dave Rubin.
Real reason that I stopped being friends with Dave Rubin is a situation that made me extremely uncomfortable and made me feel that Dave Rubin was a groomer, okay? Hand to God, this happened. Hand to God. Dave Rubin hired a person who worked with me on my team, not exclusively for me, at Prager University. And that he was very young. If I had to guess, he was 18 years old. It might have been 19, young, just starting, and he was ready for the next step in his career. He then decided he was going to move to Miami to work for Dave and his husband. And when Dave told me this, again, I was very green at a lot of times. If you even go back, you can find me like not really sure about my ideas about like gay marriage and abortion, whatever. So he says to us, we were friends. We're going to, hire him. And it's so crazy. He has a really rigid Christian household and his parents are fearful for him to come work for two homosexuals in Miami. And I was like, that's so ridiculous. Like, what do they think is going to happen? Fast forward. I see Dave Rubin again, hand to God. And he says to me and my husband that him and his husband, and I will tell you this kid was
Just so you know, Dave Rubin's husband's name, Dave.
Oh, is that like when I went to Hawaii and I saw these gay couples where one guy looked like the other guy from the future? They both look like each other, same mustache and shit. Like
But I found that to me, it was interesting because my filthy mind goes directly to sex. Like when you're having sex and you call out the other person, you're saying your own name.
Yeah, it's called gay narcissism. Liberace had it. Is his name Dave Rubin? And then they should hyphenate their names. Dave Rubin.
Here we go. So anyway, that's off topic. But
I know that groomer. I've seen that. I'm not going to say who, but I've seen that done before to people.
So let's finish this video and then we'll talk about
it. His husband, and I will tell you, this kid was extremely shy. One of those kids that blushes very easily and just a shy kid, just a normal shy kid.
So this kid who's like 18 or 19 years old, who used to work for Candace, is now going to Florida working for Dave Rubin. And she's saying he's a very shy kid, blushes, he's very shy.
And he said, we think he's secretly gay. And so we've been like, egging him to like, just like experiment and to like hook up with a guy or to see like, that's what it is. We think that that's why he's so shy. Like he's diagnosing this young male as suffering from repressed homosexuality because he's shy.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Does he recognize that nobody even thinks this way? The idea of me prodding the narrative about whether or not one of my employees is a virgin or whether they've slept with men and women, like that's not normal. That's not a normal thinking pattern. Okay. What ends up happening is he then says that they compelled him or supported him, not compelled him, but pushed him to go on a date with a guy and to have his first kiss. Shortly thereafter, the kid quit and moved to, if I'm correct, Texas is where he moved to. And I was very happy that he did that because it was very obvious to me that they were grooming him into thinking he was a homosexual because he was just probably an inexperienced, shy kid. That's the reason I stopped being friends with Dave Rubin. I never shared that story until the audacity of this person who has told me about how he's done drugs with Peter Thiel. And also, you want to talk about being a bad friend? How about the fact, Dave Rubin?
Okay, well, she goes on to tell you about a bad friend also. So turns out this would be bad friend, but let's listen.
And also, you want to talk about being a bad friend? How about the fact, Dave Rubin, also while we're on the topic, sorry for this rant, but I got to get this Kanye out, that he complained he's such a cheap ass, okay, that it was one of the reasons him and Charlie had a falling out.
That's anti-Semitic. But anyway, here we go.
We'll get to that in a second. He likes to live above his means, and he told me that he needed $5 million to buy some house in some swanky neighborhood. So he went to his friend, billionaire Peter Thiel, and asked for $5 million, and they wrote it as like a bridge loan or whatever. And so he wasn't like he was gonna like have the money, but it was gonna be a bridge loan. So Peter Thiel gives him $5 million with friends like these, right? It's great. I mean, it's amazing.
Who among us?
But Peter Thiel then asked for a percentage, like, I'm going to loan you this money, but if I'm going to be the bank of Thiel, you're going to pay interest. And I can't believe he's a billionaire. This could be a drop in a bucket. He could just give me the $5 million and he's going to make me pay interest. He's literally talking trash about a guy that loaned him $5 million.
Yeah.
Right? Currently, he had loaned him $5 million. He was talking trash about him. So I just wanted to say that because that's actually what happened. That's the real reason I stopped being friends with him. And the audacity of him to then lie when he knew better than anybody how close me and Charlie were. He was there when Charlie hired me. He was there when the Kanye tweet happened because of an event that all three of us were there. He knew better than anyone that Charlie and I were friends and that we remained friends until the very end. And he's publicly lying because I won't support Israel. And he wants to help them win the ghost of Charlie Kirk when the reality is Charlie's viewpoints on Israel changed. Over the last year, they had been changing because of the pressure that was coming to him by donors to control what he was saying and thinking and who he could invite to his own events.
I just want to
rant.
I just want.
Whoa!
Wow! I am so into this, Jimmy.
Wow!
I'm so into it. So that grooming thing, okay, she's like, who thinks like this? Well, I'm not going to say people at work don't think like that, but to actually follow through is usually at a restaurant job where you all work at a restaurant or a bar, not at a white collar job. That's completely inappropriate. At a white collar job, can you imagine your boss being like, you got to try your first kiss?
At a white collar. No, but
that's it. The only thing I've seen is a Love Actually. They did that, and it was so inappropriate.
I've worked in nightclubs my whole life, and that kind of shit happens all the time.
Right.
Yeah, all the time. Right.
So that kid was probably a Christian nerd.
I remember I was working at a club one time, and when after the show, they would have a dildo flinging contest, literally.
Where my girl worked, they set up a sexual harassment day because the boss was closeted gay and wanted to hit on this one guy. So he goes, "Hey, everyone, we're doing a sexual harassment night. If you're cool, you can hang. If not," they would do sexual harassment day.
These are nightclubs. These are nightclub jobs.
That's right. These
but not these white collar.
Well, that's where they really get worse than any restaurant, you know?
So why
complain about $5 million? I can't believe I'm sympathizing with Peter Thiel. Like, wow, what a gentleman to loan you that money and be fair about it. Like, well, you got to give me interest. I'm just giving you $5 million. And you're the kind of guy that not only grooms shy kids, but you're like, you can't just give me it. Like, wow, dude.
I remember, by the way, Dave Rubin is a fun guy to hang out with. That we used to hang out with him. He's a crack up. He really was.
Well,
he really was. He cracked us up all the time. He was fun.
Lots of people I like are manipulative, and guess what? When I already believe her story. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've watched the things Dave Rubin puts on, and the thing that turns me off to people is as soon as I see them doing a nice grim job, but Rubin's done so many more grim jobs, and even the old grim job himself.
So, this is what started it. What made Candace tell this story was. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you that I remember the story Dave told us when he wanted to buy a house, and he had found who was the guy who used to be fat and now is skinny in Hollywood. He did the documentary.
Drew Carey
did the documentary with his Jungian. Remember that guy? Well, you know what I'm talking. Remember we saw the documentary with the guy bringing his psychiatrist, then he brought in his mother.
Jonah Hill.
So he had to integrate his fat shadow.
So Jonah Hill. So Jonah Hill was selling his house, and it was an amazing deal. Like Dave was going to be able to get it for a deal, and he went to his parents. He goes, "Let's get this. It's a great deal," and his parents wouldn't give him the money. So he wasn't able to buy the house, but I guess Peter Thiel was able to give him.
But a real gentleman named Peter Thiel.
A real gentleman. So what started
shares drugs and money.
So what started this was David Rubin said, "I haven't said it publicly before, but it's finally worth mentioning. The last time I saw Candace at my house in 2022, all she talked about for an hour was how much she hated Charlie." Now,
maybe she did.
I don't believe that for a second, because if that was true, why did you wait till now to say it? Why would you? He's been ripping her a new a-hole since Charlie Kirk got assassinated. Why would you hold that? Why now? So anyway,
it's finally worth mentioning. That's what he said.
I guess. So I remember it vividly because the other two people she was ranting against that night were Ivanka and Jared, whom we had just met and had dinner with a few days before, and who couldn't have been kinder, more decent people. Yes, that is 100% true. And when she claims this didn't happen or it's a Zionist lie, ask her if she enjoyed the chicken parm. That's the food that they cooked for her at their house. I don't know how that.
Ivanka, by the way, was at the mothership way back when. And boy, she looks like a different species of human. She looks like an advanced, genetically engineered, blonde Nordic alien, like hot.
So she responded to it, and she said, "This is a completely and utterly made up, LOL, sheer fiction. You guys are so positively desperate to rewrite Charlie's history that we are moving to fantasy. But since it's on the internet now, it's so." Then she tells the story about how she, according to her, he did the grooming.
Young Christian males, by the way, Jimmy, can be mistaken for gay. I was a virgin until I was like almost 21 because I was a Christian. So that could, and if you got a nice head of hair, you could be mistaken for gay, a skinny boy, that whatever. And so, and I get that if he was working at PragerU, that's the kind of Christian who's already been groomed to be like, oh, anything Israel, anybody who likes Israel tells me is good, right?
So she ends it by saying, "Should we get into what you told me about your night in Hawaii with Peter Thiel? Or is the above enough perversion for one morning?"
No, say it.
No, please, share. But anyway, underneath that, Dave says, this is complete and utter BS, and you know it. You are seriously sick.
I don't know.
She says, he asked me for a job after he left. Please don't make me drop receipts. You won't survive it. Everything you said there is a lie, other than you know a person who worked for me. Everyone can see through you.
I don't know. I can see through Dave pretty easy.
Seems like she's winning the ratio department on this thread. I don't know. But
because
anyway.
Dave seems like a guy that would do that, and that is a very common thing.
Also, our conversation about Jared and Ivanka that you describe as ranting, you mean me saying that they were always nice to me, but they were like almost too perfect, and that it seemed a bit like an act, that they were somehow friends with everyone on both sides of the political, and that I don't think we really know what they are motivated by. So that's
calm down. Stop ranting.
So what? Well, hey, easy with the rant.
Whoa!
This is just normal conversation between friends over dinner that you're trying to scandalize. Again, should we talk about Hawaii with Peter Thiel, or should I save it for my show?
Oh,
say whatever you want right now, but you absolutely psychopath. We've had a great 3-day vacation with a few couples, watched an episode of Black Mirror. So that's what he's saying they did in Hawaii. Then underneath, are you saying that you wouldn't encourage a young guy to kiss another guy? Why? Was that weird or something?
I know a very famous person who did that, and it was very strange.
Anyway, this was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun. Anyway, and this is fun. This is funny to me. The reason why it's extra funny to me is because one time, I went to dinner at, like I said, Dave Rubin's a crack up to hang out with. We went to his house for a dinner. We were all high, and I'd made a joke about I don't really know what's going on in Israel. This is like 2015. And I was like, I don't really know what's going on in Israel. I just repeat whatever Chomsky says. And as I'm in the middle of getting wasted, and as a joke. Well, when the October 7th,
ranted.
I ranted, and when the October 7th thing happened, he tweeted that out saying, "Remember when you told me at my house that?" And I'm like, "You're gonna fucking." That was so slimy.
I know he's a former stand-up.
To take that out of context, to pretend like I was being it was so now I could see, of course he's doing the same.
He seems like that when you watch him. And this idea that he was a stand-up in New York. Now, I was in New York for many, many years. I had never heard of him until he was on a thing. He did bringer shows at Gotham, as far as I can tell. Because I was like, who the hell knows this guy? A bringer comic? So no, he wasn't. And by the way, career bringer comics are usually psychopaths. People that would go to bringer shows to that level and then tell you they're a comic when you know you didn't get booked at no comedy show. You brought 5 friends. I mean, like I never bought any part of him because of that.
Anyway,
he's probably very charming and glib, and I'd imagine glib as well.
Anyway, I just think this is the kind of drama that.
We need more.
It really spices up the day. It really spices up the day.
It's way better than the one with Justin Bandolini and Ryan Reynolds'
Justin
wife.
Baldoni and what's her name?
Yeah, who cares about that?
Yeah,
I don't care about it.
Yeah, those are all.
I care about this juicy gossy right here.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's how.
Who wants to hear more? This guy. This cool guy right
here. That
guy had a tough past, and he knows what it's like to coerce a boy. And he knows what it's like to suck Bill Clinton's dick.
Anyway, if you'd like to hear my jokes about this, come see me February 20th in Lansing, Michigan, February 21st in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Don't go anywhere else because they're going to charge you more. Go to jimmydore.com. Over to Steph.
Is that weird or something?
Is it too hard to show me the Macron clip with his glasses on?
I can show it.
Is that too hard? Because I know you really liked my_war saying Macron wearing sunglasses to hide the shiner. His wife gave him battered husband syndrome. Boy.
You don't have a "We Stand With You" Lindsey Graham quavering voice button yet, do you? We stand with you.
We stand with you.
I want you to have a button and play that like after every story.
Yeah,
we stand with you.
That is funny.
There he is, Steph.
Show Jimmy. What the hell?
What? Come on.
What are you
Hey, Top
doing?
Gun, what happened?
He's indoors wearing mirrored sunglasses. I think your wife gave you a shiner.
Oh, Iceman, you could ride my tail anytime.
Does Kalshi have a page where you can bet on whether Macron has a black eye from where his wife unloaded a devastating haymaker on him?
Yeah, his wife threw a good. You ever see those like long arms she has with those nice fur?
Yes.
Large hands that could really just crunch this little dude's face.
Does she
Don't
have
lie to your dad, wife, dude. Won't get hit.
There he is. Why would the president of France wear mirrored sunglasses at a speech unless he's covering up a black eye that he got from his wife beating him again?
Because he did more coke with Keir Starmer and the other German guy.
And I use the term wife loosely.
Yeah. Well, it's holy matrimony of a kind,
I mean,
well,
just because she has a penis doesn't automatically make her a woman.
No, I can't.
No, so
Oh, who did that, Rick? That's great.
No, that's me. It's the top of my head.
Oh, that's great. That's a great joke, dude.
Invisible Lean says no, his wife choked him. Blood always in the eyes after being choked. So that's what's going on.
He could use eye drops. I think it's a shiner.
Right? You think it's a shiner. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for that fun, my_war. Alex Jones thought Trump was doing a 4D chess move to force NATO into having to get rid of the USA and free us of NATO to stop the funding of NATO. Interesting. Bayans, thank you. Nutley Montclair, look at all the murals on the Bank of America headquarters in Atlanta where they have a Trump figure displayed along with black pyramids, biohazard, etc. Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Who?
Shut up. They were saying that's in Atlanta at the Bank of America headquarters. Trump figure displayed with.
Oi! I don't want any trouble.
I know.
I want to have an enjoyable time.
Hey, look at this. Thank you, Jimmy, Steph, Misha, Kurt. This show is supported by Roofer Dollars. Yeah. Thank you, unvaccinated guy. Always good to hear from you.
Okay, come to me.
Oh, back to Jim.
Hey, Sam Altman recently announced that ChatGPT can now reference all your past conversations. Did you know that? Do you feel comfortable knowing an AI platform has access to all your thoughts, streams, sensitive questions, business ideas, etc.? What are they going to do with it? Introducing Venice AI. Venice AI lets you use AI without handing over your sensitive information. Venice utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads, no installations of anything. They don't spy on you or censor the AI. Messages are encrypted and your conversation history stored only in your browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but we shouldn't need to give up your privacy to use it. Their Pro plan unlocks the full platform and features including PDF uploads for summaries or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation, and the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high image limits. It will generate images Grok won't allow me to generate. Here's an example. Ready? Hey, please generate an image of a baby getting vaccinated. And there it is. They did it. There it is. So that Grok won't do that. So if you want to use AI without fear of handing over your most intimate thoughts to a corporation or the government, you can get 20% off a Pro plan using my link, venice.ai/Jimmy. And the code is Jimmy. Okay, we have any other reads? All right, we got one more read. We got one more. Hey, you know what?
Oi! I don't want any trouble. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. You got to work on your Pan Bondi impression stuff.
I know, right?
Yeah, because Nancy, yeah, it's getting.
Yep, I know.
Yep.
You've never been.
Okay. All right. Be honest. Have you noticed yourself moving slower, avoiding stairs, feeling stiff in the morning? If so, pay attention. The truth is, mobility doesn't just vanish overnight. It's a slow decline. And before you know it, you're the guy making weird noises every time you get up off the couch. But by the time you pay those grunts enough attention, it can feel too late. But it doesn't have to be. That's where Juvent comes in. This isn't some gimmick or magic pill. It's a clinically proven device that uses safe, low-impact micro vibrations to strengthen your bones, improve your circulation, and keep your joints working the way they're supposed to. Notice I said micro vibration. This is nothing like those other shake plates on the market, which, by the way, can be extremely dangerous. I stand on my Juvent for 20 minutes a day, and it's made a noticeable difference in how I feel. It's like giving your body a tune-up before it completely breaks down. Athletes, doctors, even NASA uses the thing, and it's good enough for the astronauts. It's good enough for me. With a 10-year limited warranty, financing options, and the ability to use FSA funds, it's never been easier. So don't wait until your knees sound like a bowl of Rice Krispies. Get a Juvent today. I got one. Go to juvent.com/door and start moving like you're supposed to. That's JUVENT.com/door. The code is DORE, D-O-R-E, for $300 off at your checkout. Your joints will thank you. Trust me. I got a Juvent before they were even an advertiser on the show, just so you know. Pierre Corey told me I should get one. I got one. And it's good. Steph stands on it 20 minutes a day. I stand on it 20 minutes a day. My hip don't hurt no more.
Oh, what does it do? I just got back from the bathroom, and you stand on it?
Yeah, you just stand on it. You stand on it for 20 minutes a day, and it does like a micro, but it's calculated correctly, it's calibrated correctly, and it's not too much, it's not too little. It just does the right. It stimulates stem cells in your bones and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I want one of them. Can I have one for free from Juvent? I guess I could use the
ask them.
Code. Hey, Juvent.
Hey, Juvent. All right, so over to Steph.
Okay, thank you so much, Jimmy. Here we go, folks. Trump working on his great legacy. That's from a fake Crin. So where are the Epstein files? Mr. Natural wants to know. Greenland is jealous of the USA, the green bird. Come on. Now, Hugo, you say Greenland, all of this is just theater. Interesting. I always thought the whole Greenland thing was an excuse to get European troops training together in Arctic conditions, and I still think that now. Gavin. So colonialism is good. Thank you, Nolan. It's not about population, it's about sovereignty. Oh, look at you, Clark Kent. When are you coming to Seattle again? Listen, folks, Jimmy and his agent are working on the upcoming 2026 tour, and we have those dates. We'll get to you. Carney's speech just blew the wind out of MAGA. Darwin. Canadian praising Carney so hard on his speech. It's crazy. No, Canadian, really? That was from Janet. Mark Carney admits there are no rules-based order. Stoop sign. Jimmy, you're wearing loaded, not olive, Jimmy, and you look great. Sage is good for you, too. No black, no orange, no to most yellow, no jewel tones. Get your colors done professionally. You'll love it. It's your thing. Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. Worked at Goldman Sachs, too, Jimmy. Thank you, Grumblia. World Enslavement Forum, WEF. That's I Like Fish. Also, Carney was big supporter of the vaccination mandates. Heads up on that one, everybody. May a million Che Guevaras result. Enders. Mark Carney is a banker who in his lifetime has had his ass used as an ATM. Deposit, withdrawal until the final deposit is made and check clears. That's from my_war, doing good business today. Callie CPH, the Greenland thing is very much about shipping illegal and legal goods, including humans. And guess who's part of it? Whoa. Thank you, Callie, for the link as well. I'll share it with the team. Cheap ass means no condom. Thank you for that one, Cal_Gray J. To say that means they've got that on tape. Let's see the context. Dobther. Okay, hold on. Let's get to this. We're okay. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Go to Rumble.
Hold on. Let me do one more thing. We're almost there. Time to go to Rumble, girls. Let's do it. We'll see you there.